Hey everybody, David Guido here, founder and CEO, Chief Encouragement Officer of DRG Performance Solutions. So it's Memorial Day 2016. Happy Memorial Day to all of you. I hope you're enjoying the day. I hope you're taking in the day for what it's all about. I have my grandfather's flag when he passed away behind me with his picture from when he was in the service, and so thank you, and I'm wishing everybody a wonderful day. But I get to thinking about Memorial Day and what that means. And so what does that mean for you? You know, what does Memorial Day mean? I know for me, for the longest time, Memorial Day was just a day off. It wasn't much more than that. And I know that for some people now, it's a chance to get together with family. And for other people, it's a chance to party. You know, maybe drink a little, barbecue a little, cook out a little, you know, those kind of things. For some people, it's just a day off. It's just simply a day off for them. For other people, it's just a Monday. Perhaps they have to work. Perhaps they don't have anybody around for whatever reason. And so it's just a Monday. And, you know, for other people, and for I think most people, it's an opportunity to remember. To remember what the soldiers did for us, or to remember what their sacrifice was, to remember what they gave, and to mourn that, but I think to celebrate that as well, and to celebrate what that means, and to celebrate the characteristics of a soldier. I think that's all part of Memorial Day. And so remembering and mourning and celebrating all at the same time. And you know, then there's those people with family members in the military now, and you know, Memorial Day is kind of that reminder of what could happen. And there's pride that their family member is going out there and putting their life on the line and sacrificing and doing all the things that come with soldiering, but fear at the same time, you know. And then there's those who have direct relations with somebody who passed away, and it's an extra special bittersweet day for them. So Memorial Day is a lot of different things. I think for all of us, we can take some really powerful lessons from what it means to be a soldier and incorporate those into our life. By all means, Memorial Day is that chance to remember those who sacrificed their lives, those who passed away in the line of duty. You know, the dictionary defines Memorial Day as the day that we remember those who died in active service. There are, however, some characteristics that come with that we would do well to incorporate into our lives if we're not already. And if we are incorporating them into our lives, can we take it to the next level? You know, being a soldier, you know, is dependable. You know, they're known for their dependability and for their loyalty and their faithfulness, their appearance. You know, there's a lot of different things. There's four in particular that I think stand out and that we can certainly mirror in our lives to take our lives to the next level. So what are those four things? And then the first thing is sacrifice, right? You know, the ultimate sacrifice is what soldiers do. You know, when they, especially the ones that we remember on Memorial Day, they sacrifice their entire lives. Sacrifice is defined as giving up what we want for the good of somebody else, for the good of something else. Do we do that? And do we do that silently? You know, I think one of the great things that we can learn from a soldier, from somebody in the military, is the humility, the quiet humility that comes with sacrifice. There's not bragging. You know, you and I know people, I've been this person who has done something good, has sacrificed something for somebody else, and has told the world. We don't want to be braggadocious. We want to be humble and quiet in our sacrifice as a military person, as a soldier is. The most successful people do that. The most successful people sacrifice. They give up for the good of somebody else or for the good of others. Now, that doesn't mean we need to die, right? And we don't, that's the ultimate sacrifice. And we don't necessarily need to compare ourselves there, but do we sacrifice our TV time to visit with somebody? Do we pick up the phone and call a friend? Do we call a family member? Do we sacrifice our 30-minute sitcom to do those things? Do we sacrifice the ball game to go and spend time with somebody? Or to go and attend an event for a cause? Do we sacrifice that thing we want that, is inherent in our, what's in it for me, my desire, my selfishness, if you want to use that word, but that thing that we really want, are we sacrificing it to do something else? Are we making those purchases? Are we buying that new TV when we already have a TV? Are we buying the new car because our car is 2 years old? Or are we donating the money? Are we giving to somebody on the street who's homeless? And, kind of as an aside there, a lot of times I hear people say, and I used to say this all the time, yeah, but they're just going to blow that money on booze, or they're just going to blow that money on, whatever. Do we know that for sure? Would we be willing to bet everything we own? Would we be willing to bet our lives on the knowledge, the specific, absolute knowledge that person is going to do that? I don't think we would, because we really couldn't prove that, could we? Are we donating money? Are we giving a dollar bill to the person on the street? Are we giving him an energy bar? There's people, and I love this concept, and my wife and I have started to do this, that we carry energy bars around in the car, and if we see somebody, we give them one. That's not a huge sacrifice, but it's a sacrificial mindset, and that's what we're looking for here. Do we spend time with our family? Do we spend time with our spouse? Do we spend time on a project that could help somebody? Do we pick up the phone to make a phone call? Which is kind of redundant, isn't it? We pick up the phone to make a phone call. Anyway, or are we trolling on Facebook? Are we sacrificing? Do we have a sacrificial mindset, as does the soldier? So the second thing is service, right? That's the second big thing, the big lesson that we could think about and incorporate from Memorial Day. Service is defined as helping or contributing to a cause, to a person. The soldier services, the soldier contributes to the cause, the soldier helps other people. Are we doing that? Do we help the person with groceries? For the longest time it was, I don't know if you've ever seen people like this. I know I've been that person where I've been walking through the grocery store parking lot, or the Walmart parking lot, and somebody's really struggling to get their groceries in their car. Maybe they have a cast on, or maybe they're older. And I would just walk by. I was busy. They were, maybe a little weird looking. I don't know, whatever the reason was. I try very hard now, every time I see that, to stop and say, hey, can I help you? Hey, can I load those groceries into your car? Service. Not on the level of a soldier, not on the level of a military person, not on the level of the people that we are remembering on Memorial Day. But the mindset, the service mindset, is the one that we want to have. And so, do we do that? Do we give to the person on the street, like we talked about earlier? If you have a family member at home, if you have a child at home, do you just do a chore for them? Simply because. Simply because it's serving them. Do you stop what you're doing on a Saturday morning and serve at the food kitchen? Service, serving others. These are the kind of things, the mindset there is one of helping, contributing to a cause, contributing to the well-being of somebody else. In other words, service. And what happens when we serve? Here's the really cool thing. If you look at any of the studies, here's the really cool thing. You know, when we serve other people, when we put other people first, when we contribute to a cause, our mental health improves. Our relationships improve. Our self-image improves. Our happiness improves. All of these things explode, expand, and we feel so much better about ourselves, about our situation, about our life, about our family, about everything going on when we serve other people, when we have the service mentality. So that's number 2. So number 1 was sacrifice. Number 2 is service. Number 3 is commitment. Being committed. I almost said being committed. That almost sounds like something bad that would happen to you. You can't be committed in that way. That's not what we need. All right, refocus. Commitment is number 3. And commitment is dedication to a cause or an activity. We're dedicated. Soldiers are dedicated, right? Are we dedicated like a soldier is dedicated? They're dedicated to their cause. They're dedicated to their activities. And is that where we're at? Are we dedicated to our mission? Are we dedicated to our passion? Are we dedicated to our family? Are we dedicated to our friends? Are we dedicated to our jobs? Or are we going through the motions? Are we dedicated to these things that make up our life? Or is it just kind of meandering through? You know, what commitment allows is for us to go to that next level because of what it does for our energy, for what it does for our desire, for what it does for our stick-to-itiveness, for our just pushing through. You know, when we're committed to something and we hit those barriers, we break through them or we go around them. We figure it out. When we don't have the commitment, when we are going through the motions, not so much. We will give up. Our energy wanes, our desire wanes. And so the soldier, and the lesson we can learn here, is that their level of commitment gives them energy, gives them creativity, gives them desire, allows them to achieve more, go to higher levels, get the next step on the ladder, continue the climb. When we're committed to our passion and our mission and our family and our friends and our jobs, everything improves. We make more money. We become more valuable. And if we're not more valuable, you know, if you're there like I used to be, you know, I worked for a couple of places where I was committed and there was no moving up the ladder, right? There was no more raises. There was no more money. And have you ever been in a situation where you've said, you know what, I've given him everything and I'm so committed and I've been so dedicated and nothing's happening? That may be true. I've been there. What I didn't realize at the time was that by being committed, I was learning and I was growing as a person. I was growing in my job. And that was making me more valuable to somebody. Maybe not who I'm working for now or who I was working for then, but it would certainly make me more valuable to somebody. So being committed to your mission, your passion, your jobs, your family, and not going through the motions will pay off with better relationships, better job opportunities, whether it's where you're working or not. Again, more peace, more joy, more fulfillment, your greater self-image. You know, have you ever put in kind of half effort, and how do you feel about yourself? Even if you're sitting there saying, well, I don't feel bad about it because they treat me like garbage, you know, or I was just getting them back, that bad family member or friend. How do you really feel? Versus how do you feel when you're fully committed? So that's the third thing. The fourth thing that is typical of our soldiers, that is certainly typical of those who gave their all, who gave their life. And what we can model ourselves after is courage. Courage is defined by proceeding in the face of danger. And that's certainly on display with our soldiers, and certainly the ones who gave their lives. Do we stand for what we believe in? Or do we go with the flow? You know, I really believe this, and if I state it, then I'm going to be completely against what everybody else wants, so I'm not going to do that because I want to be in the crowd. I want to be with the crowd, and I don't want to be the outcast. Do we have the courage to stand up for what we believe in? You know, for over 30 years, I didn't stand up for what I believed in, what I knew inherently I should be doing. And it cost me hundreds of thousands, millions of dollars, potentially. And more importantly, dozens and dozens of relationships that are fractured, broken forever. Because I wasn't willing to stand up for what I believe in. I didn't have that courage. You know, when we're unhappy with somebody, when we're at odds, do we confront them? Not in a mean way, not in an evil way, not in an angry way, but do we confront them to work through it, talk it out? Do we express our opinions, allowing them to express theirs and come to an agreement? Or do we take the cowardly way out and talk about it and gossip behind their back and not tell the person who we're unhappy with? See, it doesn't take any courage whatsoever to talk about somebody behind their back. It takes a lot of courage to sit somebody down and say, you know what, you disappointed me, you angered me, you know, I'm not happy with you. And we need to work through it for the betterment of our relationship, for the betterment of my heart and your heart. That takes courage. Do you know what you really want to do? Do you have this passion that's on your heart, but you're afraid? Courage allows you to say, you know what? That's what I want. That's where I want to be. This is what's on my heart. And I got to go for it. I got to fulfill my mission. I got to fulfill my passion. And courage is what allows you to take the leap of faith. Do you have that kind of courage? And here's the thing. When we live in fear, when we live without courage, when we live more cowardly, we're not nearly as fulfilled. When we live with courage, when we break through, when we say, I'm going to go for it, we are more fulfilled, we are more empowered, and we feel an amazing sense of accomplishment. And here's the thing, we feel those things even if we fail. If we step off the ledge and go for it, and it doesn't work out, because we were willing to do it, because we had the courage to try, we feel greater fulfillment, we feel greater empowerment, and we feel greater accomplishment, and we feel so much better about ourselves. So those are the four, I think, powerful lessons and things that we should think about, meditate on, contemplate, dwell on. That even if we're doing them now, we can take it to the next level and mirror the soldiers that we're remembering, celebrating, and mourning today. Sacrifice, service, commitment, and courage. You know, there are no holidays in our country. There's no celebration. There's no days off for the people who don't sacrifice, who don't serve others, who have no commitment and no courage. You know, we don't have a day for those people. You know, we don't all take a day off and go barbecue and go grill to celebrate the people who don't do any of those things. We only have a holiday for this group of people that sacrifice, that serve, that are committed with courage. And when we live those things out ourselves, when we mirror those, which we would do well to do, when we mirror those, great self-image, great sense of peace and joy and happiness on our heart, fulfillment, our lives go to the next level. Our relationships are better with our family, with our friends. Our community is better. our city is better, our state is better, our country's better. See, everyone wins. When we all come to the table and try to go to that next level of sacrifice, that next level of service, that next level of commitment, that next level of courage and courageous behavior, when we do those things, when we mirror the soldiers that we remember today, everyone wins. Everyone benefits, and we all get closer to the so good life. So thank you so much for listening. Thank you so much for watching. I got both in this time, listen and watch. Thank you so much. I am honored. It is a humbling privilege to have you watch and listen to this. I hope that it served you. I hope that it inspired you. And until next time, go out every day, discover something new. Reach for your stars and go for it and live the so good life.